There I am. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Today is the 18th day of April, and this is the 76th episode of season 3 of the Be Your Own Hero show. It's a cloudy day, so I'm going to got to adjust myself to make sure you're not just seeing the sky in my glasses. Okay, so morning, Nan. Thanks for popping in. Give me a second. We're going to circle back to a couple things we talked about, man. All right, so 76th episode of season 3 of the Be Your Own Hero show. And hero, as you know if you've been watching the show, excuse me, is an acronym. It means helping everyone reaps optimism. In other words, helping others helps you. It's a reciprocal action. I'm your host. I'm sekouwrites. I'm a professional creative and the creator of what we're now calling the Hero Ministry Movement. That's my effort to uplift and inspire the unhoused community and people in general. And this came up over the weekend. So just a few of the things that I do. I'm an author. I'm a journalist. I am a playwright, filmmaker, jewelry designer, a few different things. People ask me all the time, so what is it that you do exactly? So I'm going to start listing a few of the things that I do here. All right, all that said, join me here Monday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. Eastern, 8:45 a.m. Central, for this journey of me finding my financial path, or as I say, becoming my own financial hero. And if this show serves you in any way, please like, please comment, and most of all, please share. Spread the wealth, spread the joy, spread the information. And I've been saying recently that my new, I don't even know if it's a tagline yet, but my new thrust, my point, I guess, is to address finance for artists, which I can speak to quite a bit, and retirees, because our time schedules are similar. So that's the idea. Of course, anything here might benefit you. It certainly has benefited me as I've gone along the process of learning about money, about wealth, and about finance. So join me. Okay, so quick disclaimer, I'm not a personal trainer nor my financial advisor, so do your own due diligence, and let's get into it. I feel like I got a lot of ground to cover. Happy Easter. It was Easter weekend. I hope everybody enjoyed their Easter. I hope it was a good time. It was a relatively busy weekend for me, so let's get into the Hero Ministry Movement news. All right, so let's start with the run streak. So I have remembered the name that I came up with it before. I remember the name that I came up with for the run streak before. So the title is the Sekou Hero Charity Run. I'm going to keep that ongoing. What's happening is, even in this late period of the run streak, so today's day 322, people are discovering it for the first time, right? And they're trying to figure out, well, how do I see all the other things? And so the hashtag is hashtag Sekou Hero Charity Run. I had been using that hashtag consistently for a while, and then I fell off. And so now I'm bringing it back. That's the official title, Sekou Hero Charity Run, and the official hashtag, because that'll help people who are new to it find out what's happened before. So that's a note to myself and also to you. People are asking about it. All right, as I said, today was day 322, but I want to show you the run report from this past weekend, day 320. So this is from Saturday, when I was running with the Fleet Feet group, which, if you've been watching the show, you know is the group that's been training us how to run half marathons and marathons. So here we go. Day 320. Day 320. Day 320. I completely forgot to do the run report. My bad. I did the run, and then I was training with Fleet Feet today, Fleet Feet Nashville. And so then, we started talking, and then breakfast, and then my phone was out of storage. I had to clear storage off of it. I completely forgot. So now it's hours later. I totally don't look like I've been running at all, right? So anyway, let's circle back. Today is day 320 of my run streak. That means I've been running every day, at least a mile a day for now 320 days in a row. Antoine, the guy who inspired me to do this, really brought it
brought it full circle for me this morning when he was like, so you only got 45 more days left until 365. And I was like, 45 days? 45 days. I knew it was coming up, but when he said 45, I was like, ooh, I got to plan something because I cannot let this end quietly. I cannot let it end quietly. I can't let day 365 come and go without some pomp and circumstance. So stay tuned. I'm going to spend the rest of the weekend figuring something out. That said, today was day 320. It was a training day. Oh, wow. The last training day. Oh, the last training day for the half marathon and full marathon that's coming up next weekend, next Saturday, a week from today here in Nashville. I think it's called the Rock and Roll Music City Marathon. If not, it's close enough. Anyway, I've been training with them for 10 or 11 weeks now, and today was the last training day. We did what's called a taper. So last week we ran a half marathon. Well, Antoine and I ran a half marathon last week. The group as a whole ran 12 miles last week. And then this week was only 6 miles. And I can't believe I can say only 6. Matter of fact, quick story. When it was all over, I ran into some of the marathoners from Black Men Run. And Aaron is one of the marathoners. So let me rephrase that. He's in Black Men Run, but he is training for the marathon that's coming up next week. And so he got in after I did. And he was looking at me. He said, did you run today? And I was like, nah, I'm just hanging out in the parking lot. Joking. And he was like, well, it looks like you're just hanging out in the parking lot. You don't look like you've run at all. And that's the difference between being a beginner and having done this for a while, number one. And also it's the difference between having run 13 miles last Saturday and only 6 miles this Saturday. I felt like I hadn't even done anything. 6 miles, 6 miles, whatever. And I remember when I couldn't even conceive of running 6 miles, which is what Aaron said. He made comments about the progress I've made from then until now. So anyway, I'm not going to make this too long. That's the run story. I've got a big run report coming up on Monday. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, shout out to all my Fleet Feet half marathoners and marathoners. It's been great running with you guys. Today, people were like, yo, I'm trying to get into TikTok. I'm trying to get in your TikTok, Sekou. So that was pretty cool. So I'm going to try to include all the photos that I took today in the run report. So please watch to the end. Please watch to the end. Until then, keep doing. Be a hero. Be your own hero. Be your own hero. That's what I'm doing. Remember that now is better than perfect. Whatever it is, just pull the trigger. Whatever it is, just pull the trigger and keep doing it. And I'll see you here for tomorrow's run report for day 321. Later. Day 320. Day 320.
Sorry, I was trying to stop it. Okay, so I'm just trying to show you now the group. It's a big group. So this is like all the marathoners and half marathoners together in front of Fleet Feet Brentwood, which is the place where we met to train. So there's me not looking at the camera as usual. Everyone else is looking at the camera. That's Antoine on my left in the blue shirt, black hat. And that's just only a few of the group. There's more people that you can't see on either side of the camera. So yes, it was a very big group. That's our marathon and half marathon training group. And training is now over. And as I said in the run report, we're all tapering down in terms of mileage to prepare for the big day, which is Saturday. By the way, it's only been 2 days of me tapering down, just Sunday and Monday, and already I feel lazy. It's crazy. I ran 1.5 miles yesterday, 1.5 miles today. I just feel like, I don't feel tired enough. I don't feel like I've got enough endorphins pumping. It's an entirely different experience from what I've gotten myself used to. But I'm going to stick with it. I'm sticking with the training program, taper down until race day. Okay, so all of that said, obviously there's a run report available for yesterday and today on social media. I'm not going to play those, but check them out and tell me what theme that you see in the run reports. and those two run reports, because I'm trying to extract themes now for whatever the next iteration of this is, whatever the next thing is, whether that's a book or film or I don't know. But so if you check them out, just comment with what you think the theme is. Okay, so let's move along. Let's do the dice roll challenge. First dice roll challenge of the week. So if you have not been doing the dice roll challenge, ask yourself why you haven't been doing it. Let's go. Let's get this money. All right. Oh, that reminds me of something. Am I going to tell that story? Yeah, I'm going to tell that story. All right, here we go. Dice roll challenge. Oh, easy day. Number one. Easy day. Number one, transfer $1 from your checkings into your investment account or move a physical dollar into your money jar. All right? I'm not going to talk too much about why we're doing this. If you've been watching the show, you know why we're doing this. Let me get into this story. I'm going to tell this story now, and then we'll circle back to the other things. So over the weekend, okay, here we go. One of the benefits of the Dice Roll Challenge for me is I'm transferring money from my checkings to my savings account. So one of the main benefits is I'm looking at my account every day. And that's not a habit that I've developed. I've tried to develop it a couple times, but this time I have developed it because there is a purpose. I go in to transfer the money, and while I'm in there, I see what's going on. And so my account was looking a little too bubbly. It was looking a little too exciting in there. It was looking a little too fluffy, right? And I was like, I feel like I got extra money. And I was like, all right, let me make sure, because it feels like there's an extra money in there. And sure enough, there was an extra $860 in there. So then I did some digging to figure out why my account was plus $860. Turns out, if you remember, in the last iteration of my charity run, I'd given $860 to 5 different nonprofits, right? So one of those nonprofits, one of those payments came back to me this week. I was like, well, I wonder what happened there. So 4 of them are gone cash, but one of them came back. And that's why my account was looking so fresh. so healthy. It was looking so healthy. So I reached out to the nonprofit, and she said she just moved and she had a hard time locating the physical check, and I guess it had expired automatically from the bank, and they had bounced the money back to me. And could I resend the money? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I contracted immediately in terms of the finances. I was like an unexpected $860 payout. I was like, ooh, well, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get that money back to you right now. So what I started to do, I literally typed a text that was like, yeah, we might have to wait a little bit for me to accumulate some resources to send your way, something in that vein. And then I was like, no, we have to be in abundance all the time. That was the logical response, but let's push past the logic and just lean into abundance, lean into wealth, lean into the right mindset. And so I deleted the text message. I sent her a new text message that said, okay, cool, I'll just Cash App you next time instead of sending a check, a physical check that's harder to keep up with. And she was like, all right, cool. So then I had to force myself to sit with it. I was like, all will be well. All will be well. All will be well. And then I got distracted. It was a fairly busy weekend. And then she texted me asking me to let her know when I sent it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got to send that money. And then I was able to send the money within minutes. Now, how was I able to send the money within minutes for this unexpected expense of $860? Okay, I realized it's something I haven't told you guys, or actually I have, but I hit it kind of lightly a long time ago, so I need to circle back to it. The Dice Roll Challenge is the latest tool that I'm applying to abundance and wealth, but it's not the only tool. So there are some other tools that I already started applying that helped me in this situation. So there's this book called The 1 Minute Millionaire. I read it early during the pandemic. And of course, it's not what it sounds like. It's not how to become a millionaire in 1 minute, but it is how to develop small 1 minute habits that put you on the path to becoming a millionaire. One of those habits is taking 30% off the top every time you get paid. Every time money comes in, you take 30% off the top. You take 10% off for savings, 10% off for giving, and 10% off for investing. Now, this was challenging in the beginning, for sure, but I kept at it. And I got to the point where I realized that, yeah, if you get $10, you can make do with $7. Those $3 aren't going to make that much of a difference. So I got comfortable taking that 30% off the top, 30% off the top, 30% off the top. So much so that it's second nature to me now. So I can do it easily now, where in the beginning I was a little shaky with it. So my giving account was more than enough. The amount in that account was more than enough to cover the $860. And that's what the giving account is for. It's for nonprofits, it's for charitable giving, it's for hero hoodies when I need to put money in to cover expenses, to give free product to people. Like, that's what it's for. That's what it's for. Matter of fact, early on, when I would give out money to the unhoused, I would go to that account and transfer whatever amount I gave away. I would transfer that back into my checking. I don't even do that anymore. I just kind of leave it in circulation because my faith is stronger now. So the point is, there are a number of different tools that you can employ to move yourself on the path to financial greatness. The key is sticking to it. The key is consistency. Because I could have dabbled with that and then let it go, and then I wouldn't have been in the position I was just in. And the position I was just in was remembering, oh, I have a giving account. It's already set up. It's been accumulating money for months now. I can just transfer that money, Cash App it, boom, done. It was great. So apply these tools. Apply these tools. Check out 1 Minute Millionaire, the book. Participate in the Dice Roll Challenge. Try taking 30% off the top and dividing it 3 ways: giving, investing, and saving. Okay, so that was a bit of a sidebar, and I've got more sidebars coming. So Mornings In, I have a Mornings In from this weekend, actually, not from today. The Mornings In comes to us via transcendental meditation. So during one of my transcendental meditations this weekend, I was handed some financial information. It wasn't literal. It wasn't like, do this exactly. But it very clearly led me down a path that I understood to be the universe to be saying, you need to open a Roth IRA. And I was like, a Roth IRA? So then I had to go back and research what a Roth IRA was. I've been introduced to the concept a while ago, and some people have told me more about it, but I was like, all right, let me sit with that. And I went running with it. I found a podcast about the Roth IRA, and I went running with that podcast. And I was like, all right, so let's do it. So I literally opened a Roth IRA with TD Ameritrade over the weekend. Like, the money is crediting now. Like, by the way, you do not have to fund the account. Just like you don't have to fund a brokerage account, you don't have to fund a Roth IRA. But listening to the podcast, listening to the people who've been talking about it, the Roth IRA is one of the best ways to accumulate wealth. Now, obviously, the earlier you start, the better. You can create a millionaire status for yourself if you start early on. So maybe it'll be that, maybe it won't be, but regardless, I followed divine intuition and I opened a Roth IRA. And matter of fact, now I have 2 because there was some glitch and I thought it didn't go through the first time. So I did it again. And then when I called TD Ameritrade, they were like, yeah, you now have 2 Roth IRA accounts. So that is probably where my Dice Roll Challenge money is going to go from now on. I'm going to start funding the Roth IRAs with the Dice Roll Challenge money, I believe. Don't hold me to it. I'm still experimenting with different things that work for me. Okay. All right. That said, I got to move on again because there's so many things going on. But I want to circle back to Nan. So I've been talking about the 7-day mental diet here, and I've been describing what's happening in the book. And then we got to the end where I was talking about these 8 questions. And Nan said that she was reading the book and couldn't find the questions. And so we were texting back and forth all weekend. And it turns out that the person who published this version of the 7-Day Mental Diet added his own stuff, his own content, his own images. It's a different version. And so I just got the physical copy. This is the copy that Nan has, and I ordered this from Amazon and got it very quickly. And sure enough, it's different. It's different than the one that I've been, quote unquote, teaching from via this show. So I'm going to read this and get caught up and see what all the differences are. But for those of you who are interested in the book, just be aware that the Kindle version, which is the version that I've been reading from on my phone, is slightly different from this version. And there are no 8 questions in this version because those 8 questions were created by the person who republished this book recently. Okay, so that's the sidebar. Also, man, quick sidebar, I did that video and I uploaded it, but I forgot to tell you, so go check that out. This was, for those of you who didn't see this, this was Nan's parable about the Mockingbird. And I actually didn't see that show because Rev Mel was producing herself that day. And so I got to see the Mockingbird episode this weekend when I was doing some editing for Nan. It's a great, great episode. It was a great story. It was a very good story. So whenever you post it, Nan, let us know so I can tell everybody to go check it out. Okay, moving on again. So as I mentioned several times now, my intention was to give Mr. Charles the funds for Easter. So how do I make this long story short? That did not happen, but I talked to Mr. Charles for the first time since finding him in the snow and ice all those months ago. I talked to him over the weekend, and he was very excited to hear from me. He said he had been trying to find my number so that he could reach out to me and thank me for my help that day. He was out of town for Easter and said he'll be back soon. So we're going to connect this week probably and get everything squared away. I didn't tell him that I had something for him. I just told him that I wanted to see him. And quick story about this now, about me getting money from Mr. Charles. So my New York bank doesn't exist here in Nashville. And so I forgot about that. My intention was to go to the bank and get $100 bills, and it'll be a nice small package. But my bank doesn't exist here. So I went to the ATM. The ATM, the first one I went to at CVS, would only let me get out $100. I'm like, okay. As we know, I'm giving $1,000 to Mr. Charles. So I was like, well, that's never going to do. So I called my bank, and they say, well, just do 10 transactions of $100. I was like, no, that's not going to work out well. That's not going to work out well. I know there's going to be a fraud alert. Even though I'm talking to you, I know there's going to be a fraud alert. And I asked her to put a note on the account that, yes, it's me getting the money out, but I already knew there's going to be a fraud alert and it's going to take too much time. So what I did is I went downtown to an ATM connected to a bank. And all of a sudden, the $100 limit at CVS went up to $800 at the bank ATM. And I got really fascinated by that because these things are not accidental. Like the ATM doesn't decide how much it's going to give out. It has to be programmed. And I started thinking about the neighborhood that the ATM was in the CVS versus the neighborhood that the ATM was in the bank, and the differences in everything in terms of those neighborhoods. And I was like, oh wow, look at all the restricted access to money. Look at all the choke points. Like look at how systematic it all is on a holistic level. Which reminds me, Rev Mel has been moving some money around in order to invest because of this show. And shout out to her for giving me credit. But in the process of moving some money around from the places where it's always been, she has had to face resistance from her credit union in terms of getting the money out to invest it. They keep stopping her. First it was, oh, you took out too much money. We can't let you take out any more of her money. Then it was, oh, you've done X number of transactions, so you can't take out any more. You've got to wait until next month for it to reset. There are these limitations put in place restricting the flow, the movements of our money. And same thing has happened for me in terms of creating all these buckets in my account. So now it limits the number of times that I can transfer money within those accounts. Like there's all these limitations. It is systematic. It is not accidental that there are limitations around how and where we can move our money, which honestly for me is very exciting because it means if we're pushing up against resistance that we are starting to do the right thing. That's why they're trying to hold us back. We're starting to do the right thing with our money, with our resources, with our time, with our energy. So keep moving your money around, get it into the right places, because if you don't, it's back to that quote that I always give. If you only spend, you'll stay poor. If you only save, you'll stay middle class. If you want to become wealthy, you must invest. And just to add a layer to that, if you only save, you'll stay middle class, right? Because what we think is that we can save our way into wealth, but that doesn't work. That doesn't work. It will not. You can't save your way into wealth. But what you can do is invest and save at the same time. So let's say you've got a bunch of coupons from the grocery store. You go to the grocery store, you know how it has that readout where it says you saved $53. Okay. What usually happens is we stop there. We feel good that we saved $53, quote unquote saved. No, what you do is, this is also from the 1 Minute Millionaire book. What you do is you go home and you take $53 out of your checkings account and put it into an investment. And in our case, put it into the stock market. Then you're winning. Then you're starting to tip the scales in your favor. You can't just save the money. You've got to save the money and put it to work. Save the money and put it to work. Save the money and put it to work. Okay, so there was another random story I wanted to tell that I can't remember now. Wait, I told the Roth IRA story, Mr. Charles update. Oh, so I guess I didn't really finish Mr. Charles update. So we're going to connect this week, and I'll send you, I'll post something I'll talk about it here. But it was fast. It was a little bit stressful walking around with that much money because it wouldn't give me 50s or 100s. It gave me 20s. $1,000 in 20s is like an encyclopedia. It's like a stack. So I was walking around trying to be very careful with where I put that money. And the first time I added it up, it didn't add up right. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, woosah, let's take a breath. And anyway, I got it straight. It's all together in an Easter envelope, and I'm excited to give that gift to Mr. Charles soon come. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so I guess that's it. I felt like there was another story I wanted to tell, but maybe it'll come to me. Maybe it'll come to me next week. All right, so Nan saying that she'll let me know when you got the Mockingbird story you posted. Yeah, it was really good episode. And it reminded me of my parable about running in the storm, which seems like ages ago now. All right, I guess that's it. There's something missing, but it'll come to me. Just a reminder, Rev Mel is on spring break with her daughters, and that's abundance right there. She's on spring break with her daughters. So the next week, today and the rest of the week, is all pre-recorded episodes, pre-SIP, meaning when we were doing this on Facebook, just on our Facebook page, before New Thought Media Network, before all the production tools and all that jazz. So I have no idea what's there. It's been so long, and I didn't schedule them. She posted them herself, so I can't wait to see what the rest of the week looks like. All right, so you'll see that at 10:30. So until tomorrow, keep doing, be a hero. Oh, now I remember what it was. I'll tell you tomorrow. All right, keep doing, be a hero, be your own hero. Remember that now is better than perfect. And tomorrow I'll tell you about Antoine's wife, who just interviewed me for her podcast over the weekend. All right. I'll see you later.